If you want to see me transform this using this, keep watching the video. Hello beautiful people, I've got an exciting project for you. I found this old, very damaged dresser on Facebook Marketplace. Someone was giving it for free just because they wanted to get rid of it. Before we start, I would like to ask you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I try to post weekly, but we'll be able to do it more regularly in the near future. I'm not sure what happened to this poor dresser, but a lot of the veneer was missing, and the veneer that was on the dresser was peeling off or was not attached properly. There was also a huge hole on the side of the dresser, and it wasn't just missing veneer, it was a layer of the plywood as well. I really liked that Art Deco look, even though this was likely post Art Deco. I wanted to keep that, and also I didn't want to hide its age. As I often do, I started by removing the hardware and boiling it in vinegar and water to remove the dirt and the paint. That top coat on this piece was holding on for its dear life. I could not remove it with a scraper, sanding was out of the option, so I decided to use a stripper. I applied a generous coat of one of the strippers that I had, and I left it to do its thing. Because there was so much veneer missing on the drawers, and I didn't have the type of veneer to replace it, I decided to take it off altogether. As you can see, the veneer is coming off super easily, which is unusual. It normally takes a lot of elbow grease, some heat or moisture to remove veneer, so this was meant to go. As you're watching me fight with the veneer, I just want to say that you guys are awesome for buying me coffees through Buy Me a Coffee, or for using my Amazon wishlist link, or buying my new merch. You don't need to do that, and I really appreciate it, so thank you. And for anyone who would like to do that, all the links are in the description. As you can see, the first stripper that I used didn't really do anything. So I cleaned it up with mineral spirit and I tried a different stripper. This one wasn't great either. As I was getting ready to sand the drawers, I found this mark inside, and this is not made in 1960, and if you're interested you can just pause the video and read a bit more about it. So I sanded all the drawers inside and out as I normally do. And made some small repairs along the way. I'll spare you guys 2 hours of watching me using my sandblaster and a stripper and a scraper and all sorts of things trying to remove the top coat. For whatever reason, it was really difficult to remove. Even though I really liked the overall look of this dresser, I didn't like the legs because they were pretty simple, so I wanted to change them. There was not a lot of structure on the bottom, so I added a few pieces to make it stronger. I cut them to size, used some glue and a nail gun to attach them. Then I removed the back piece to which the mirror was attached. A piece of plywood came off with it because it was glued to it, so I fixed it. And then I used my other stripper to finish the job. And this one actually worked. I applied a couple coats and I removed it with steel wool and mineral spirit to deactivate it. I promise guys, I haven't lost my marbles, but the price of wood is really high and I thought, why can't I just recycle something that's made of wood and use it for my furniture project? So that's what I did. I found 3 of these on Facebook Marketplace for £10, and those are actually made of real wood. So I cleaned them and I let them dry. As the blinds were drying, I disassembled the mirror and I sanded the back of it. When the blinds were dry, I took them apart and I got them ready for my project. As you can see, there is a lot of wood for £10, and that's not even all of it. Because there were holes on both sides, I cut off those pieces and left just the middle. On the veneer that I was able to salvage, I used oxalic acid to even out the tone. The front of this dresser was solid wood, so it sanded nicely. I also wanted to say that I really enjoy our growing community. There will be 20,000 of us pretty soon, so that's incredible. And I love that you guys share your experiences and you help each other when you have questions. So that is awesome, and I really like that. Some of the veneer on top was damaged, so I'm trying to fix it here. I'm using wood glue and I'm applying it only to the missing bits, and I'm pressing the sawdust into the glue rather than mixing it with the glue. I was hoping that this would blend in better and that it wouldn't be as dark as it normally gets when you mix sawdust with glue. It didn't work as well as I was hoping it would, so I actually ended up using professional furniture repair kit, which basically is all sorts of colors of compound that you mix together to get the matching color. Um, it worked okay and I was quite happy with it. It wasn't perfect, but I knew it wouldn't be. Because there was a huge hole on the side and I knew I was gonna cover it with the wood from the blinds, I just removed the veneer. And then I used some wood glue and my nail gun to attach the wooden pieces from the blinds. The wood from the blinds didn't really go with the look of the dresser because it was quite new, so I wanted to age it and make it look more like reclaimed type of wood or driftwood. So you'll see what I did. When I posted a picture of my marking gauge, some of you guys asked what it was, so this is how you use it. You can use it to just make a line, or you can score the wood to basically cut the fibers, and then when you cut through the wood, you get a cleaner look because the top fibers are already cut. And here you can see me using my router and a trimming bit to trim the edges. When I was done with the edges, I used a straight bit on my router and I cut a groove in the side of the dresser for a brass inlay that I was going to put in. To set the correct depth on the router, I just used a brass piece. And then I used my jig that I made for my jigsaw to cut all the pieces that I was going to put on the drawers. I put a piece of tape over the hardware hole and I applied some glue and the pieces of wood. I clamped it all together and I let it dry. When it was dry, I used my router to trim the edges. There was a ding in the wood, so I fixed it with some moisture and an iron. And then I did some more sanding and more gluing and more repairs. I've had some questions from you guys on how to use this tool, and even though I didn't have to use it for this project, this is just me showing you how to use it. So here it is. I let the hardware sit in the vinegar and water overnight, and I cleaned it up with a wire brush and my Dremel tool before I painted it. I got everything taped up and ready for spraying, and I used my air sprayer and wood dye to give that wood some color. I think I sprayed 4 or 5 coats of dye. I wasn't quite happy with the first color because it wasn't dark enough, so I used a different one. I sprayed everything, including the inside of the dresser, and I used my heat gun to speed up the process because it was quite cold outside. When the dye was dry, I went on to attach the legs, but because the front piece had a curve to it, I had to make a cut, otherwise I wouldn't be able to attach the legs. I used a water-based satin finish, and I added some of the wood stain to help it blend in. And then I used super glue to attach the brass inlay. I sprayed the hardware and the legs with the same spray paint so they would match. And then I used my favorite natural beeswax and applied it to the drawers. I put the mirror together and I used the hardware jig to attach the hardware. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, and see you in the next video.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.